Welcome back to another episode of experimental architecture, building a roundhouse. So today we're back in the woods. I'm here with Mike, with my dog Amber, and also with Mike's dog Jaxx. They haven't really met before, so we'll see how they got on today. What we're doing today is we are claying the walls. We're making a cob mix using clay, locally sourced. In fact, it's only about 40, maybe 50 meters away from here, so it's very close, just by a stream that's recently been widened. The idea is to get the clay, and we're mixing it with a bit of ash, and we're also mixing it with some fibers. It's to make a cob mix. That way we can then clay these walls, these hazel woven walls that we've made with this clay cob mix. One thing we found really handy is using this tarp. So using some tarp and some water from the stream, we've then mixed everything together. And the great thing is about this tarp is that you can fold it and almost knead it as if you're making a loaf of bread, kneading that dough. And this is it. This is what we're putting on. It's a nice clayey mix, and there's some ash in there. There's some of this straw as well, and plenty of clay. It's surprisingly satisfying getting this onto the woven hazel wall. Yes, it will crack. However, the idea is that if we continuously put layers on, especially after it's cracked, it means that we can eventually fill those cracks. What we want is a nice solid wall, well, as solid as possible. The idea is to stop the draft from coming in the winter months, and it's also to stop the heat from getting out. This is what it looks like when it's dry. Yes, there are cracks, but as I was just saying, if we continuously go over them with more clay, we'll then be able to fill in these cracks and eventually have a wall that hasn't got gaps in it. What do I mean by gaps? Well, things like this. Light shining through. However, we've only put the clay on the one side, on the outside. We're going to be putting clay on the inside as well. So this is a woodland path. In fact, there's a small stream there as well. What they're doing here in the woods is they're improving this track by scraping up the top maybe half a meter or so, dumping it on the side. I'll show you in a second. And then they're going to be putting down some hardcore, some rubble, some gravel, or something a bit more solid than this clay, which means it becomes a bit more of a practical woodland track. But what we're interested in is the waste product. What do I mean? Well, let's have a look. Well, this is what I'm talking about. This is the waste product. Look at this lovely clay. Really soft, bit of moisture in it. Very, what's the word, pliable, very pliable, can turn it into any shape. And the idea is that we take these small handfuls, and as you just saw in the beginning of the video, we throw them down onto the tarp. We don't want to throw it down into big lumps because we want it to really, we want to maximize the surface area. So by putting it down into smaller lumps like this, we can then scatter all the material on top of it, being the straw. And then that allows it to bind once we fold it several times with a bit of ash and a bit of water, and we end up making a lovely cob mix. Now, we've been talking. We think we are going to be doing a few clay experimental videos. What do I mean? Well, I tell you what, if you have any ideas of what we can make with this clay, useful things to make around the woodland camp, please comment below. But I'll give you a tip. We're thinking about clay oven. You can see on the top, this top layer, it's quite hard soil. It's quite firm, almost rock hard. In fact, this is a little bit moist, so it is able to break up a bit. But it's the layer below that surface layer. It's that deeper layer. That's what we want. Is that light, soft clay, perfect for building. You know, I've said it before and I'll say it again. We don't really know what we're doing. However, we're giving it a good try, and I think that's the most important thing. Just to try something, you learn so much from trying and realizing where your mistakes were and how to correct them for next time to improve it. So we're just saying, by the end of this shelter building, hopefully we'll be professionals. We've dancing to Aqua Barbie Girl.
I'm a Barbie girl. Right. Good. We're getting there.
And there we are, there's our second wall of the day. You've probably noticed that there are other walls that we've done. We didn't do those today, we did those last week. That's why they've dried and that's why there are cracks in the walls. Whereas of course these ones that are freshly done, there's no cracks. I've kind of realised that putting a layer of straw down to begin with, then clay, water, and then more straw, and then folding, that seems the way to do it. It just gives it a bit more of a consistent, even mix. So Mike's just cutting down the hazel hurdle to make it fit to size. So as this clay mix gets pushed into the woven hazel, what happens is it forces itself past all those sticks, and as that dries, it will then grip it, or grip onto it, which means it'll be hopefully nice and secure and it won't flake off in big chunks.
Like some sort of buzzard? Yeah. A bit more like an owl or something, actually.
It sounds like my budgies when they're hungry.
I reckon that's an owl. Yeah, I definitely reckon that's an owl.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Mike, after that little bit of jumping up and down, how is the mix?
I'd say that is a good consistency, probably as best as we've had for a while.
Do you think it'll go on nicely?
I think so, yeah. It's definitely working better when we don't throw it and we just push it in with our palms.
Doesn't it? Yeah, you can kind of tell it where to go as well.
Yeah, you just get a smoother finish as well. So we've just got that little bit there to finish, and then one more panel, and we've pretty much done the outside. We've just got to weave in the bottom sticks.
Ooh. So messy, isn't it?
So we're always like, who's going to film next? Because they're going to wash their hands up and touch the camera.
Can you turn my camera off? Oh.
Yeah, nose.
So once we've done these panels, we're then going to do the inside. And we were thinking about doing windows here, right there, window right there, and a window right there. But we are going to change it up a little, and we might put 1 or 2 roof windows in. We're not too sure yet, but watch this space. Right, back to the programme. Let's get this clay mix onto the wall. Mike's going to finish that little bit there. I'm going to start on this one. It's all about getting a nice handful and just squashing it in. And you find that clay really grips to the hazel. So you might notice in a minute that there are some of these panels that we've done that have got lots of cracks in them. But not to worry, we knew that was going to happen. It's a matter of just keep building up those layers. That's exactly what we're going to do. This is Mike trying to maneuver his camera. What you don't normally see is he'll turn the camera on, press record I mean, and he'll stop recording using his nose.
There
you go.
There we go, it's on. Red light's flashing, baby. Nose cam.
Well, you can see we'll almost finish this panel. Another 10 minutes, 15 minutes and we'll be done, but I don't think we've got enough clay mix. So we've got a big pile of clay we've just dug up, and we're going to have to make up one more mix, probably about half a mix, just to finish this small area right there. Guys, if you could only just see the state of my camera right now, and Mike's camera, totally caked in mud.
It's bad.
Well, that is the 11th panel done. All we have to do now is the rest of it, do the inside, and we're probably going to do that next time we come. Hello, hey? Want some attention, don't you? You're a good girl. I just want to say, if you're still watching, thank you very much. This episode, it was just getting this clay mix onto the woven hazel hurdle walls. Well guys, that is about it for today. I'm pretty happy with that, pretty satisfied. I think we've done quite a good job applying, sourcing and mixing the clay. We've done the whole of the outside, we're yet to do the whole of the inside, and then we're going to go back to the outside and add one more, maybe two more layers, but quite thin layers, just to fill those cracks. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. And I'm sure as many of you know, I'll be back soon. I don't know when, but it'll definitely be another irregular upload. Goodbye.